It was a big game for both Glenelg and Port Adelaide at the Bay today. Port knowing that they had to win to stay in the 5, and Glenelg just a slim chance of playing in the major round after losing their first 8 games straight this year. They'd won 7 out of their last 10 going into this game. There's been a fair bit of ill feeling between the two clubs over the last 2 years. They've been bitter rivals on a number of occasions, and it was on again today at Glenelg. The Bays won the toss and they kicked with the breeze, and it was worth about 5 or 6 goals, and Port hadn't done a bad job. In fact, they'd had 5 scoring shots until the 20-minute mark of the first term into the breeze, and that's where we go to the game. Port Adelaide 5 points, Glenelg 3-4, and with me in the commentary position, as always, Robert Oatey.
Tim Evans has missed twice. Can the little rover Belton do the job? Kicks holding just offline. He's kicked it to the wrong side, so it really had no chance on the way unless it did some miraculous comeback. So it's a point to Paul Belton, his first score. 5 points to Port Adelaide, 3-4 to Glenelg.
Marshall in the front spot. Hewitt is having a very good first turn. He's got Sewer. Sewer will go around Harvey and he'll have a shot on the run. Drop punt, missed it. Carey, not quite out on the full.
Benefit of the doubt there, Bruce. Umpire judging that Carey touched it. So it was worth the effort and dive.
That's for sure.
Must have put a hand on the ball.
He's kept it in that forward pocket for the Bays.
Bad kick by Ralph Sewer. He should have got that on line. His confident best kick was good enough.
Kidney.
Well done, Kidney.
It's a go, isn't he? 2 goals for the little fellow, Robin Kidney. And that's what the Bays wanted, Robert. They've pinched that break. They're 4-4 to 5 points.
Peter Carey put the ball down to Kidney. He just sat in front of him and he just ran it down his arm to Kidney. But Kidney found himself encompassed by players. Peter Carey was ecstatic with the performance of Kidney, with his ability to evade then and get the ball through the goal. It was very well done. So Glenelg with a chance now, a very good chance.
Big Dexter started on the interchange bench. Kernahan with a tap. Duthie tried to crash his way through. Russell with a hip and shoulder against McGuinness. Now Simons, Eva getting back, and he's got it. That's a good mark.
Just noticed then that Stephen Clifford made no effort to go towards that player then when he kicked it from the centre of the ground. Just ran away to half forward and it was an opposition player. Paul Belton. Good kick too. Off hands. Folletti can't take it. Kennedy can. Handball's intercepted well by McDermott. McDermott through the centre and accurately to the goal square. Carey from behind. He's in position. Kidney coming in. Fedke's up there. Grabbed by a leg. And he'll take a free kick. There's a beautiful movement then. The interception on the half-back line is very well done. So Glenelg through Carl Fedke, playing at centre half forward. It's a goal. Fedke's first. Glenelg's 5th. They're 5 goals for Port Adelaide, 5 points.
That handball of Kennedy's being intercepted by McDermott, and it was a very, very long kick. Carey against Harris, 1 out. And the ball going to Fedke. Fedke being legged, getting the free kick, and kicking accurately. So the Tigers have pinched a break, Robert. Port did very well for 15 minutes, but the effort told on them, and Glenelg have kicked 3 goals in a hurry. And they're going to go in at quarter time with a 5 or 6 goal lead, maybe more.
Well, Russell Johnston is back on the ground, Dexter Kennedy having gone off. A change for approximately 10 minutes or so. Kernahan just straight down to his feet. Belton, Wayne Stringer to half forward. Giles setting himself. Giles marks. Giles, very fine half-back flanker. Kicks to centre wing. Stringer spoiling from behind. Poor Pleasure to Johnston. Johnston to Folletti. He doesn't get a good bounce. Curtis can't either. Salisbury in strongly. Kicks it while he's lying on the ground. Poor Pleasure jumping through the air. Anderson, he can't take it. Everybody's after it. Nobody gets it. Between half forward and centre wing for Port Adelaide.
Hughes doing the ruck work as Johnson goes back to half back. Kernahan. free kick against Kernahan, even though he got a very high one late. It's going to Hughes. That was for getting Hughes' back.
Well, that was all about he can get him right in the face then, Bruce.
Hughes to fall forward. Evans, that's pretty ordinary by Salisbury. I thought he just ran across in front of Evans, but the free kick goes to Farquhar. And it's a stretcher case for Kernahan, unfortunately.
I can't believe what I saw there. I hope it was an accident.
So Stephen Kernahan, who had a great start to this game. In fact, the game's going to be held up, I think. Yes, it will be. Stephen Kernahan being placed on the stretcher. After that bounce down in between centre wing and half forward. The free kick in that incident going to Danny Hughes. And so Glenelg lost Stephen Kernahan in that first quarter, carried off on a stretcher. Danny Hughes was reported by a boundary umpire and a goal umpire following that incident. And at quarter time, the Bays led 5-6 to 5 points. We go back to the game in the second term, 7 minutes in. Port had struggled a little. They had only added 2 points, had gone to 7 points, and Glenelg had added 1 point, so it was 5-7 to 7 points when we go back to the game.
Yes, if Glenelg can just keep Port Adelaide kicking indirectly or offline, they'll certainly be with a chance. Michael Farquhar, the centre half back. Off hands from Duthie. Kick forward by Maynard. Sewer under the ball. Taps it out wide towards Carey. His handball strong to Simons, and Simons will take a free kick. Wayne Russell. Running on. Peter Carey. Feeling the might of that young player. They swap the ball. Sewer. Sewer dummies the handball, then plays on. He needs to get the kick away, and he has. It's right into the square. Boyle spoiled forward. Johnston's back in there. Fedke can't get his hands on it. In fact, nobody can, and the umpire will bounce it.
Glenelg doing well, 37 to 7. So Johnston again with Fedke. Holst tries to get through, so does 12-tree. Harris put a high tackle in him. Holster's got a chance here. He's going to get a free kick right in front of goal against Clifford. He's going to play on and kick it. He has. So the Bays go to 6-7 to 7 points, and they've got the first goal of the second term.
Well, Stephen Clifford hasn't been too prepared to go for too many tackles. He's let 2 go that I've noticed during the course of play. And on that occasion, when he got near it very carelessly, with Holst in front, he ran right behind Holst instead of a little to the side of him. He's given away a free kick, and David Holst, taking full advantage of it, has given Glenelg a firm grip on the game at the 10-minute mark.
Russell Johnson, who's had a great game, but Port aren't capitalising on his efforts. Again gets it to Hupperts. Hupperts ducks quickly, and he gets a free kick. He felt Marshall coming, and he went underneath him, hoping that he'd get the kick, and he did. Then goes towards centre half forward. A floater. Clifford in the centre. Stringer. Anderson caught by Kidney. Stringer on the up to McFarlane. McFarlane goes wide. Sewer will get it. McFarlane's playing very well this afternoon. Sewer across the ground to Marshall. Glenelg with a bit of confidence now. Marshall's got to get it in long, I think. And he has done that. It's right on line. Fedke's in front. Harris with one hand, though, just lays it off. Through for a behind. Glenelg 6-8, Port Adelaide 7 points. Harris will try and boom it back in. And he has. Carey, one hand. Marshall will leave it for Maynard. McGuinness. Eckerman coming in late. McGuinness in a bit of trouble. He might have hurt his hip there, I think. He's almost at the stage where he can't take the kick, I think. He looks really distressed for the moment, Tony McGuinness. He'd be the right man to take it because he's such a long, long kick, but he's not going to be able to. So the Bays are going down like 9 pins at the moment.
Carey just sneaked up into a space, and behind there, a Glenelg player, young Kidney, led to where Carey was going to get on his own. And the kick by Chris Duthie is out of bounds on the full.
So hopefully McGuinness can recover in a hurry. Russell goes short, and he wants Eckerman.
Carey made a big metre then to get up to Eckerman. Eckerman with strength. The umpire slightly blinded then from whether it was out of bounds. It was very close anyway. So it'll be another bounce down. Game still very competitive. Johnston from behind Carey. Carey hitting it back towards 12th tree. He takes it. Dummies the handball to Simons, then quietly controls it across to Tony McGuinness. He's just cruised down from centre-half forward. Everyone forgot about him for a moment. And this is an important goal, Bruce. These are the ones that can really seal games up. They help to keep the opposition well out of it. And to get these goals, of course, you psychologically put extra pressure on your opponent. McGuinness. Goal. And Tony McGuinness scores his first goal for the match. It's the Tigers' second for the quarter, and they now move well in advance of Port Adelaide. They are 7 goals, 8, leading Port Adelaide 7 points.
Well, just 2 minutes ago, McGuinness was unable to take his kick, but he snuck down into that forward line then and got on his own and read the ball well. He's always been a great kick for goal. Russell Ebert's got a few problems at the moment. He's calling for the runner, and Port Adelaide are in a desperate position.
Peter Carey and Russell Johnston. Carey for Glenelg. Number 5, big strong man. Hits it out to Kidney. Kidney's tackled a little high, but he's caught holding the ball. It looked as though it was high. It is Stephen Curtis. Gives it to Ebert. Ebert keen to get on with the game. He no doubt understands how important it is to move the ball. The up at half forward, Ray Huppets, takes the kick. Glenelg must not relax now, Bruce. They've got to run on. They've got to concentrate on the ball. Ebert lifting his side temporarily there. Ray Huppets' kick just floating offline and through from behind. So Port Adelaide got to get a goal to get themselves running, and they just can't do it at the moment. They've done... It's 13 minutes into the second quarter, and Port still haven't scored a goal.
Farquhar, Carey with one hand. Anderson. Long handball to Curtis. He's been quiet today, Curtis. Clifford. Belton. Giles always set him up. Holst hit him with everything. Quick kick away by Stringer. He's in a bit of trouble, Giles.
That play did not go for the ball, David Holst. All he had his mind on was laying Tony Giles out on a direct charge.
And also, his feet were off the ground completely when he did it. Hewitt round his body to 12th tree. Now he's got Sewer in the pocket. Sewer shall kick a goal. Long handball, Fedke will kick it. And the Bays are 8 to 8 points, and Giles is flat on his back at centre-half forward. And he's out.
That's a very bad incident. Most unfortunate. A wonderful bit of play by Glenelg though when they ran it down the ground after that. Holst recovered, got them started, and they went all the way down the ground to kick the goal.
Carey and John. And the battle continues. Carey just takes it out of the air, then round his body. 12th tree. Curtis falls over and gets a free kick, then gives it to Ebert. Ebert quickly onto his boot. Carey, Hughes. Hughes taps it on cleverly. Robertson. Wayne Stringer. Got a bit of time. Not a good kick. Kinnear couldn't handle it. Gee, Johnston's playing a game, Robert. Gives it to Kinnear. Kinnear with a highway.
Into centre half forward. Clifford from behind. Off his hands towards Filletic. Salisbury with his nose right on the ball. Takes possession. Can't advantage the ball though. But it's still in the area. Port Adelaide couldn't go into attack. Salisbury had left Huppets up in the forward pocket on his own. But was able to stop the ball, getting back to him. So it was well done.
Holst has gone to centre-half forward, Robert. So Hughes and Carey, still with Carey, and a ball up. So Holst at centre-half forward on Ebert. Curtis looks like he's gone to a half-back flank. He was playing on the ball early. Port making a couple of changes.
Yes, Glenelg have kept Fedke in at full forward, Bruce, where Kernahan and Carey were changed, but obviously Carey's going to have to spend most of his time on the ruck now. Ball flies clear to Hewitt. Hewitt towards Ebert. Sewer coming in from behind. Ebert strong in front. Holst to Marshall. Harvey trying to square up with Holst. Fedke high. Can't complete the mark. Sewer comes in strongly. It'll be a free kick. Kicking in danger. tried to kick the ball out of Ben Harris's hands. Anyhow, that's what I thought he did.
So Eckerman, with Harvey and Holst having a chat to one another behind play. Stringer thumps it away from Hughes, and it's going to be a ball in. 56-8. Hughes and Carey again. Carey with the tap. Anderson snared it beautifully. Then to Clifford. Quick left footer. Walsh has got to take a chance. Didn't get the bounce. Robertson went without it. Now Walsh is going to have to just give it to Hewitt. Hewitt's got it now. He's got Maynard running for him. And also Marshall and Holst. He wants Marshall. Marshall's taken the mark half back.
Very strong mark too. Russell Leverett coming across quickly. Couldn't spoil him, and he held that mark very firmly. Marshall backward of the centre line. Kicks it about the distance of the square. Ralph Sewer. Spectacular mark. Plays on. Controls the ball forward. Obviously wants to play. Leon 12-3 goes to play on. He's tackled. Backed up by McDermott. Sewer has an airy. He goes down. Then there's a free kick for in the back for John Harvey at centre halfback. Harvey quickly to Belton. Duthie tries to run him down. Now Anderson. Kidney tried to run him down. It was good play by Kidney because he made Anderson kick with his wrong foot. I think he's hit his... Williams, that was Stringer, but I don't think that was on purpose. And now Hughes and Folletic want to get involved. McFarlane, this is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure that he didn't hit his head when he hit the ground. No, what happened? Stringer came in and he hit Stringer's elbow, but it certainly wasn't on purpose. And have a look at this. Clifford and Salisbury. Well, you can see this down. It's a joke, Robert. Oh, you can see this anywhere. Absolute joke. Just not good. The game's got to go on, and someone out there's got to keep playing the ball. If I were Glenelg, there's one thing I wouldn't be in, and that's playing the man right now. I was 8 goals in front. I'd be having every player calm as you like at the footy to try and consolidate that lead, because after all, they want the points badly, and they've got Port Adelaide right where they want them at the moment. And Ray Huppert's with the opportunity to score Port Adelaide's first goal. He floats it in for a goal. So that free kick and the 15-metre penalty allows Port Adelaide to get onto the board at the 21-minute mark of the second quarter. They're 1-8, trailing Glenelg 8-8. That free kick coming when Anthony Williams was knocked out, but well, I don't think it was intentional by any stretch of the imagination, with Stringer going for the ball, because we don't have the facility to see it on replay during the game. We'll see it tonight. So it's Harris in the ruck with Fedke. Now McDermott. Carey and Kennedy's back there. Oh, he threw that away with an open hand. It left his hand in an open hand. Curtis. Russell to centre wing. McFarlane under it. Spoiled away though by Belton and out of bounds. Glenelg 8-8. Port 1-8. 22 minutes in the second quarter. Harris and Fedke. Harris having a run on the ball. Dexter at full back. Duthie caught by Huppert, and again a ball in. There's poor reflex by Duthie, Bruce. He had his teammate Tony McGuinness just in front of him. A little handball over would have done the trick. So Carl Fedke, the run on the ball. Johnston in front, leaning back on him, just lays it back. McGuinness gets there first though. Playing with the ball, couldn't take it on when he came back out of that turn. And the kick goes to Peter Maynard, just towards the centre line. Just holding it up for the moment. McGuinness very short. Wants 12-3 or Simons. Looks like Curtis in the centre. Long handball to Hupperts. Port trying to get something going now. Hupperts with a long one. Maynard, oh, he judged it well. Had Folletic coming in from one side, Hughes from the other. Now he's not too sure what to do. Very short to McDermott in the centre. McDermott's got Holst wide. A bit of performing going on now too, Bruce, making everything look about twice as bad as it is. A floater, Sewer with a thump away, only as far as Hupperts. Hupperts with a nice leg trap. Harvey drops the ball. Anderson picks it up and gives it to Curtis. The free kick's going to go back though to John Harvey. I was watching the ball, I didn't really see what that was for. It doesn't matter anyway. So John Harvey Long kick over half-forward line. Players fly high. 3 Glenelg players. Folletti gives it to Clifford. Clifford misses. So that's an indication of Port Adelaide's lack of confidence at the moment, and Stephen Clifford should be ashamed of himself. He could have run up to the goal line then and just kicked it along the ground. Decided to kick it from 15 to 20 metres out and then sprayed it sideways.
Farquhar to himself. Evans tries to run him down. Drop punt. Harris and Fedke. Harris almost is going to be paid.
That's the mark that Fedke took in the first quarter, if you remember correctly, when he was not under any pressure and he wasn't allowed it.
So Harris from half forward. Evans with a fly. Thumped away by Farquhar. Clifford snares it and tries to get rid of it. And it's going to be a ball up. Of course, what's going to happen, Robert, if Port can't get another goal, the Bays are going to be 7 in front with the wind at their back in the third quarter. They only have to kick 3 or 4 and it'll be all over.
Made to order for them at the moment. They've just got to keep their cool. Fedke working hard on the ball. Peter Carey having a bit of a breather for this last 5 minutes before three-quarter time.
Half-time, Robert.
Half-time. Gee, I have got this game going fast, Bruce. I've switched it off already. Fedke and Johnston. Fedke with his left hand to Huppets. He has an airy, Belton, Marshall. Thought he was going to get it, but Anderson was too good. Hewitt. So Hewitt's going to get the free kick. Salisbury's run into Kinnear. I don't think Kinnear's feeling all of that too good. McFarlane. I think it was 2 free kicks at once almost then, Bruce. One to Port Adelaide, one to Glenelg. Glenelg got the free. McFarlane to half forward.
Harris takes the mark, plays on to Harvey. Kidney tried to run him down. Now Curtis. Still Curtis, he's dodging shadows. Now Harvey. High kick.
No run on for Port, Bruce. They're looking for some.
Even almost. Glenelg can verge on him though. Now Walsh after McDermott gave it to him. High one. Carey. Oh, Sewer almost.
Gee, almost. Oh, what a
He's
great
hung there
fly.
forever. Marshall spins out and then kicks and misses. So Marshall today has kicked 2 points and he's kicked 1 out of bounds on the full. The Bays are 8-9 to 1-9. We're into time on, but it's going to be a fairly long quarter. Not because there's been a lot of goals, but because we've had a lot of people go off the field on stretchers.
Gee, I'd love to see a replay of that, Sue. I reckon he took that, Bruce. I know he lost it. He was up so high and spinning in the air. So, ball kicked in. Free kick to Port Adelaide's Russell Johnston. Pushed in the back. Away he goes, the big fellow. Kicks 60 metres to half forward. And the second very good mark this quarter to Peter Maynard. Comes to the grandstand side to McFarlane, who's worked and played a magnificent first half. His handball's long and strong towards Fedke. Maynard puts a hand in there. Now they're in trouble. Beautiful take by Belton into the forward area. Farquhar can't decide. Hughes has got it. Well, Farquhar saved his bake and he left Evans standing in the goal square on his own. Taps it out of bounds. So they live again, Glenelg.
Gee, Maynard made a bad error, Robert. Nearly cost them a goal.
They're fiddling with the ball. He didn't want to take it, did he, Bruce? He was only half going.
Hughes gets rid of Fedke, then tries to get rid of the ball. Then McDermott. Maynard underneath it. He's going to get a free kick against Folletti.
He did that well, didn't he, Bruce? He let the ball go. He knew he was gone. He was set up completely.
Now Walsh. Oh, this is danger. Johnston against Walsh. Walsh has done a couple of good things. Got rid of Robertson. And then wants Fedke, and he's got him. Well played, Walsh. Now to Maynard. Maynard to Kidney. Kidney wants to handball. Anderson, 2 young men together. Porplesia, Marshall. Curtis comes in. Belt. Now Marshall. No one to give it to. Now it'll be Salisbury, and he's got a bit of time.
Salisbury to half forward. Dropping back into half back is the big fellow, Ben Harris. Harris short to Huppets. Huppets looking to play on. Eckerman. Trying to get themselves running, Port Adelaide. This is the bit of a sign that they might be getting it. Folletti goes with one hand, but McFarlane's there again. Thinks he should have got a free for being held onto. Maynard. Marshall picks it up. Walsh can't take it. Finally it's got out to Clifford. And this time Clifford lets one go. But no, he can't do it again. That's his second point for this quarter. So they're 1-10 now, Port Adelaide, to 8-9 Glenelg.
Farquhar to bring it back in. So since quarter time, the Bays have kicked 3 goals, 3, and Port have managed 1-5. It's a lovely kick by Farquhar into the breeze, holds up a bit. Marshall and McDermott with a run of it. Marshall got rid of Pleasure. McDermott hung on to it. Simon stood his ground. And the Bays get a valuable 40 metres. In a bit of time, we'll get to the 28-minute mark, and it's going to be a ball in.
Russell Ebert coming across quickly with David Holst. It's going to be Carey and Johnson and Kennedy to contest. Kennedy lays it back, but only as far as Holst. His tackle, Harris gets in the road, but can't get the ball. Holst still in there, then taps it out of bounds. Cunning move. Dwayne Russell wants an easy kick. Might pay him to get out there and win one. So Carey and Kennedy again. Carey with his left hand, spoiled by Ebert forward. Anderson to Giles, to Harris rather. Belton goes to half forwards, tries to draw, runs too far. Peter Maynard just held his ground well then, Bruce, made him run the extra couple of metres.
Short by Maynard. Kidney. Kidney's kicked 2 great goals today.
Got to kick this down the line, Bruce. They've just got to play safe.
He's a good kick, isn't he, for a young man? Timed it beautifully. 12-3. 1 bounce, 2 bounces now. He should kick a goal. He has. Oh, do you reckon that's a nail in the coffin? That's really rubbing it in. 9-9 to 110. You told me you could play 6 months ago. You're right.
Well, I think that Leon 12-3 is a very good player. Russell Ebert was in 2 minds then. He didn't know whether to go to him or stay, and he was halfway in between. And 12-3, when he got the opportunity, kicked a magnificent kick at full pace.
So Fedke runs in against Harris and he wins it. Anderson goes without it. Kidney, 16 years of age. 12-3 and Curtis. Pulse with one hand. Carey. Oh, no free kick. Eckerman in towards centre-half back. Missed by Belton.
Not any luck, are they, Bruce? The Port boys either. Sewer. Duthie. Could have handballed it. But chose to kick, and it's a very good kick.
Free against Russell in any case, Robert, for after disposal.
He's arguing with the umpire, Dwayne Russell. He's about 19 years of age. He spent all day arguing with the umpire, and he's very, very upset at the moment. I think it might pay him to keep his cool.
13th kick for David Marshall.
And playing well too. And David Marshall, the Glenelg centreman, 50 metres from goal. High to the square. Carey from the back. Puts both hands on it, then takes it off the ground. Well done, Carey. He's held it in the area. There'll be about 32 minutes gone this quarter. I would say there would be even a few more to go.
Carey and Kennedy. Carey just gets rid of Big Dexter, and he's going to get a free kick against him. So Kennedy from fullback, quickly on. Belton with a high one. Anderson and Duthie. Free kick to Anderson against Duthie. And now 15 metres. So Anderson goes to centre-half forward. Hughes and Stringer. Hughes much taller. Salisbury quickly onto his boot. Robertson made it. He's got Johnston. That's a very good kick. And the siren's gone. And at half-time, the Bays lead 9-9-63 to Port 1-10-16. Graham Campbell has never ever seen a half of football since he's been in South Australia like that. The Bays lead by plenty.
Start of the second half, Glenelg leading 9-9-63 to Port 1-10-16 after a very, very spiteful at times first half. It's Carey laying the ball forward. Anderson can't take possession. Knocked on by Duthie. Simons is off for Port Adelaide. Paul Pleasure coming through from defence. Holst, Sewer, caught with the ball, drops it, holding the ball.
Paul Pleasure. Kernahan back on the ground for the Bays after going off on a stretcher in the first quarter. Belton's kicked to centre wing. Clifford Now Robertson. McFarlane late. McFarlane had an exceptional first half. Oh, Hupperts, that's a good mark. Splendid mark by Ray Hupperts.
There's no way you could ever say Ray Hupperts has got any fear, Bruce. He came straight across Tim Evans then, put himself in a position where he could have been absolutely floored, and Tim managed to just shave him.
Andy Portlesia playing in defence in the back pocket. Harvey's gone up to the centre wing. Russell Evers made a number of changes. Port in a desperate position. They want a goal here. Hupperts has missed. Their kicking's really let them down. They kicked 111 to 9-9. And Hupperts has kicked 1-2. So the Bays with a breeze and with a big lead.
Ball will be brought in by Michael Farquhar. Done a good job at full-back on Tim Evans. Tim had the first 2 kicks that went up there. Farquhar's managed to hold him. It's a floating kick. Nearly knocked Stephen Clifford over. In fact, it has. It was a very good mark. Cannon into his body. And he held it firm. Exceptional judgment. To the pocket. Coming over the back was Philip Robertson. I thought he may have marked it, but no. It's been paid to the front man, Scott Salisbury. Salisbury from the back pocket.
An awkward kicking style, but he kicked that one a long way. Russell was up, couldn't take it. Tony Hall back on the ground as well to Duthie. Duthie towards Kernahan. Harris in the front spot. Oh, Sewer did it well. He'll finish it off. So Ralphie's got his first. That's his first goal in league football for a long time, and he loves it. And it's 10-9 to 111.
Well, Ralph Sewer has been a very cool, calm player this afternoon. He's done some very good work across the half-forward line for Glenelg. He and Leon Twelftree have been 2 very good half-forwards. His ability to be a little bit calmer today has been what's made Ralph Sewer such a dangerous player. But from the centre wing then, when they went into attack, Glenelg always looking very confident, and I'm afraid, Bruce, that the Magpie is in big trouble.
Big Super Carey. He had to do most of the ruck work in the first half when Stephen Kernahan went off. Russell Johnston played a fine first half. Bounce gives Carey the chance. Ebert missed it. So did Dwayne Russell. So did Stephen Curtis. Holst to McGuinness. It's not a bad kick round his body. It's a behind. So 10-10 to 111. And McGuinness has got 1-1. It's an amazing score, isn't it? 111 to 10-10. Brings back memories of that 1964 grand final when South led 5-6 to 10 points by Port Adelaide at half-time.
I can't remember that long ago, Bruce. So it'll be Ben Harris from fullback, kicking into a breeze. He's chosen to kick straight into it too because the wind's coming from the northwest. Carey fumbles the mark. He's not going to, he knows exactly where he is. That's experience. He says, I'm on the Glenelg Oval on the kick out, and I think I'll just put this back over the fullback's head. Well, let's see whether he can do it. Kicked some beautiful goals in his career, Peter Carey. Sends the screw punt away. Distance, no worries. It's over his head. It's the goal. Thank you very much, says the skip. 11-10 Glenelg, 111 to Port Adelaide.
Well, the big Super's kicked 406 goals in his career to date. I don't think many of them would have given him much more pleasure than that one. Harris's kick in, he juggled the mark, and Robert picked it perfectly, and the screw punt went on forever.
So Peter Carey, from a very fine goal, in for the knock, almost over the shoulder. Clifford competing in the front position, gets the free kick. Mark Hewitt just a little high. From the centre, Clifford to half forward. Hughes setting himself under the ball. Goes with one hand, just brings it down the front. McFarlane's there again. McGuinness takes the mark about 10 or 15 metres, plays onto the outer side, gives Duthie an opportunity to run. It's gone too far. He's going to have to knock it on. He's done just that.
Tony Hall with a long one. Kernahan sets himself. Harris did very well. So did Curtis. Portlesia. Now Sewer, who's played very well today. Still with Sewer. Still with Sewer. Has he kicked the goal? He has! Oh, what a goal! Well done, Ralphie. Glenelg went on to lead at three-quarter time, 17-16 to 4-12, and then with the breeze in the final term, Port added 4 quick goals, but then it was Glenelg all the way again to win 23-20 to 8-15. McGuinness finished with 4, Kernahan 3, and have a look at that list on 2. Lots and lots. Kidney, Fedke, Holst, 12, Tree, Sewer, Carey and McDermott. And for Port Adelaide, just Huppets and Folletic, 2 of their veterans with 2 goals each. And after the game, Robert Odie went down and spoke to Graham Campbell.
Winning the toss was obviously important, Graham, but...
It was. I don't think it would have mattered though, Rob. You know, we were on fire today. We were hot. And we were ready to go.
What other factors do you think were really important?
The other factors, I thought we had a great attack on the ball early. It wouldn't have mattered who had the breeze. The attack on the ball was unbelievable, and the way we measured up to the physical side of it was heartwarming. I made a statement at half-time that the second quarter was the most inspiring quarter of football I've ever been involved in as a coach, because they served it up, and by gee, they got as much as they gave. And I'm proud of these guys. They really gave it to them. And you know, probably over the years, Port have been a very physical side that have cost us a lot of pain in certain areas, and not today.
I remember talking to you earlier in the year when things were going really badly, Graham, and we won the first one, and you said, what happens if we win the last 14? Well, you've almost done it.
Well, we've won 8 out of the last 11 now, Bob and Rob, and we're almost there. So, you know, Sturt next week, and get over Sturt, and I don't see why we shouldn't think ourselves to be a big chance down here at the Bay Oval. It's going to be a hard side to pick. Some of you blokes did well. David Holst, centre half forward, was an inspiring player today, and everybody jumped out of the ground and did something, and it makes football worthwhile, quite frankly.
It was a bad toss to lose, but I thought you played pretty well for 15 minutes. You were right in there, weren't you?
Yes, our first quarter, as I said, the design, the commitment was there in the first quarter, and with a little bit of luck, we could have had sort of 2-3 or 3-2 and been right with them. But then we frittered away our opportunities in the second quarter, and they played a particularly good second quarter and third quarter and wrapped the game up.
Well, at the moment, the 20 players that are playing for Port Adelaide aren't quite good enough to really be a threat in 1983. Are there players in the reserves that you can bring in, do you think?
Well, there's players that we're going to have to bring in. So they're young and maybe a little bit inexperienced, but the players that we've got in the side, well, we're going to have a real close look at.
Well, you've got plenty of ammunition to fire at Port this week. I can remember the last time you played Norwood, 33,000 people. You were almost down and out, and you got up and won a memorable match.
Yes. Well, we'll certainly be there, and we'll be competitive, and we've got to give something back to our supporters and the people that follow us after an effort like that today.
Is this the most disappointing moment of your league career?
Have to be very close to it. Very close to it.
Russell Evers played 341 games for Port Adelaide and had some magic moments, but as he said, that's one of the most disappointing days of his life, and it's making it very difficult now for Port to make the 5. As we look at the stats from the game, we see that Glenelg dominated, 205 kicks to 176, 67 marks to 60, 113 handballs to 74. Tremendous difference there. Frees 24 to 30, rucks one out of the centre 10 to 11, and scoring shots 20 more, 43 to 23. As we look at the premiership table, we can see that Port out of the 5 and North Adelaide in, and North Adelaide really do have a much easier run home. Glenelg have a horrendous run home, but the way they played today, they might just keep on winning. So that's where the real interest is, and of course, for that third spot was South and Norwood, and they're level at the moment, and South Adelaide now under pressure. We look at the leading goal kickers, no big change today. Dietrich up to 77, who knows, he could now get 100, especially if North Adelaide play in the major round. And Schneebickler's up to 56. That's a fine performance by him. Over the border today in the VFL, Carlton continued on their winning way when they kicked straight against Hawthorn, 29 to 15, 22. St Kilda in the upset of the day, 21-14 to Richmond, 9-11. Collingwood, 28-14 to the Swans, 18-12. Well, I suppose this next game's just as big an upset as St Kilda winning. Footscray, 19-11 to Fitzroy, 14-15. They'd lost 8 straight, Footscray. Essendon 21-15 to Melbourne 19-10, and North Melbourne beat Geelong 16-20 to 11-18, and the ladder there, North Melbourne on top. The 2 big games next week, Carlton against North and Collingwood against Fitzroy. Well, we've got an enormous night and day coming up for Sport on 7, 10:30 tonight, highlights from Helsinki, then 11:30 live, and tomorrow is a perfect day if you like sport, 8 o'clock in the morning through to 12 o'clock at night, with the big highlights being at 2 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have the Woodville West Torrens game live on 7 from Theberton, and then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night we'll be going live to Helsinki for the marathon and Robert De Costella's bid to become the world champion marathoner in Helsinki. So a great day of sport on 7 tonight and tomorrow. I know I'm not going to get much work done at home, but I'm certainly going to enjoy it, and I'll see you tomorrow at Theberton at 2 o'clock.
Football 83 is proudly presented by Mitsubishi Motors, Hallett Brick and British Paints.